You're reading a book, simple, harmless, no consequences. Now, add a time machine. You travel back 24 hours, still holding the book. You find yesterday's version of yourself about to pick up that same book for the first time. But wait, if you took the book before past you could pick it up, then past you never reads it, which means present you never traveled back with it, which means past you does pick it up, which means present you does travel back. Infinite loop. Congratulations, you just broke causality with a library book. This is a time paradox, a logic bomb embedded in the code of reality. And today, we are going to look at the 7 paradoxes that prove time travel doesn't just break physics, it breaks logic itself. Let's break your brain.
The grandfather paradox, the classic, the original logic killer. You build a time machine, travel back to 1950, and prevent your grandparents from ever meeting. Mission accomplished. Your parent is never born, which means you were never born. But wait, if you were never born, you never built a time machine, which means you never traveled back, which means your grandparents did meet, you were born, and you did travel back. The universe is trying to process a logical contradiction that has no resolution. Think of your existence like a printer printing a document, but the printer's power cable is plugged into the document it's trying to print. System crash. Physicists hate this because the solutions are disturbing. Maybe the universe has built-in protection, cosmic censorship, and reality becomes a conspiracy of coincidences to stop you. Or maybe you create a parallel universe, becoming an orphan, a glitch, a person-shaped hole in causality. Or simply, time travel to the past is impossible. The grandfather paradox breaks the concept of a single, coherent you. But if your own existence being erased sounds terrifying, you haven't yet encountered the paradox that destroys the very concept of creation itself. What happens when an object exists but was never actually created by anyone?
The Bootstrap Paradox. You travel back to 1595 with a printed copy of Romeo and Juliet. You meet young Will Shakespeare suffering from writer's block. You hand him the book. He copies it and publishes it in 1597. It becomes a masterpiece. But wait, who actually wrote Romeo and Juliet? Not Shakespeare. He copied it from you. Not you. You got it from a bookstore that got it from Shakespeare. The play exists. It's real, but it has no origin, no creator. This is the Bootstrap Paradox. An object or information exists in a causal loop with no beginning. It's the chicken and egg problem on steroids, except the chicken literally birthed itself. You could be your own ancestor. Your DNA would be a self-referential loop. You exist, the play exists, but none of them were ever created. Information without genesis, objects existing without origins break causality. But what happens when you try to use that broken causality to play the hero and save lives? This next paradox proves that your heroic intentions might actually be the exact trigger of the disaster. The Predestination Paradox. You're a historian in 2024. You read that in 1950 a library burned down, so you go back to stop it. You arrive the night before, checking the building for accelerants. Then you accidentally kick over a lantern. The fire starts. You return to 2024, failed and horrified, and reread the article. Fire started by unknown intruder. You didn't stop the fire. You caused it. The event happens because you tried to prevent it. Your intervention doesn't change the timeline. It completes it. Skynet created the technology that created Skynet. The attempt to avoid destiny is destiny. If predestination is real, you are just reading a script you think you're improvising. But you might think, well, what if humans just stay out of it? What if we don't make any decisions? Turns out, the universe doesn't need humans to break time. Mindless, inanimate objects can do it all by themselves. Polchinski's paradox. Physicist Joseph Polchinski proposed the simplest paradox. No people, just a billiard ball and a wormhole. A ball rolls toward a wormhole that sends it 5 minutes into the past. It emerges and strikes its younger self before it enters. The collision deflects the younger ball so it never rolls into the wormhole. But if it never enters, it never travels back to hit itself. So it does enter. So it does hit itself. Infinite loop with no resolution. Polchinski proved mathematically that the universe must have a built-in autocorrect.
Out of infinite possible angles, reality only allows the razor-thin set of trajectories that don't create contradictions. The universe pre-filters reality to prevent physics from breaking. But while we are sitting here debating theoretical wormholes, there is a time paradox that isn't theoretical at all. It is happening right now above your head, and we have the physical measurements to prove it.
The twin paradox. This isn't a logic paradox, it's measured reality. Twin B blasts off at 99.5% of the speed of light, travels 10 light years, and returns. From their perspective, the journey took 2 years, but when they returned to Earth, Twin A aged 20 years. How? Acceleration breaks the symmetry. Twin B changed reference frames. The twin who accelerates ages slower. This is tested reality. In 1971, physicists flew atomic clocks around the world on jets, and they returned exactly as far behind as relativity predicted. GPS satellites experience this constantly. Every day, engineers must account for this, or your GPS would be off by 11 kilometers. Time is personal. There is no universal now. Physics proves time is relative and forward time travel is possible, which begs the most terrifying existential question of all. If the future stretches on for billions of years and time travel is possible, where is everybody? The Fermi paradox of time travel. If time travel to the past ever becomes possible in the next billion years, you'd expect tourists, temporal anthropologists, something. In 2009, Stephen Hawking threw a party for time travelers. He sent the invitations after the party ended. No one showed up. It leaves us with a cosmic sense of canopsia, that eerie, heavy atmosphere of a place that should be bustling with people, but is now completely abandoned. Why is the future empty? Maybe reality forbids backward travel. Maybe there's a temporal prime directive banning contact. Or the darkest answer, we never invent time travel because we go extinct first. The silence is screaming. A silent future is existentially horrifying. But the final paradox is the ultimate boss. It doesn't just break time, it breaks your mind, your agency, and the very illusion of your consciousness. The free will paradox, the block universe. If time travel is possible, Einstein's block universe is likely true. The past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Your life isn't happening. It's a static structure in 4D space-time. Your entire future already exists, which means every decision you're about to make is already decided. It turns your internal monologue into a cosmic juiska, a predetermined conversation you compulsively play out, thinking you're improvising, but the script was finished before you were born. Your future self already exists in the block. They already know what you're about to choose. Any attempt to prove you have free will by choosing randomly is itself part of the predetermined block. You're not writing your story, you're reading it, 1 second at a time, forever. Every solution to these paradoxes requires sacrificing something precious: free will, uniqueness, causality, or hope. Anyone smart enough to build a time machine is smart enough to know they shouldn't use it. But time travel isn't the only concept in physics that shatters our understanding of reality. If the block universe dictates that our entire lives are already predetermined, hard-coded into the fabric of space-time, it begs an even terrifying question. Are we living in a base reality, or is this entire 4D structure just a high-fidelity simulation? If you want to see the exact mathematical and physical anomalies that suggest our universe might actually be lines of code, click on the video on your screen right now. I'll break down the simulation theory. See you there.